welcome to another edition of Chair Yoga. My name is Karen Lyons, and a little bit of housekeeping first, making sure that you are using a chair, preferably without arms. Especially today, we'll be doing some side twists and also standing up a bit. So you'll need to make sure that the chair is also therefore on a nice solid surface so it doesn't slip around on the floor, so preferably a rug or a mat if you have it. And then I do have some props today. I have my belt, and you can use a tie, a regular tie, or a piece of rope, or whatever you've got around the house for that. We have a block. We may be using the block today as well. And again, if you have soup cans or a book or something, just to kind of bring the lower level up towards your floor. And then of course I have my blanket for Shavasana. And my water. So we're going to begin, and today you may find a little more challenging than in the past, but don't worry about that. Just begin to listen to your body, because we want to remember that chair yoga is for everybody. So take your time with this, enjoy it. If there's certain parts of it that you can't quite do, don't worry about it. Just sit and watch it, and maybe after time you'll build up the confidence and the physical ability to try to do some of the things. So just have fun, right? Okay. So we're going to just start as we always do, and that would be grounding ourselves in with some breath. Breath work is very, very important. Pranayama practice, even something that maybe you want to try to do every day for a few minutes. Just take a time out, basically, and just find some stillness and allow yourself to appreciate your breath, okay? So we'll start off today with a little bit of letting go breath. So we're going to take our shoulders up towards our ears with an inhale, and then with a wide open mouth, just let it out. Yeah, feel good, huh? And then an inhale, hold it, wide open mouth, let it out. And one more, take a nice inhale, wide open mouth, let it out. And then just kind of shake around a little bit. And then just kind of moving just into a slight twist a little bit. And then maybe leaning forward a little bit, taking that twist a little bit deeper. Good. And then to the other side, just warming up the body here. We're not getting too into it. We want to go back now to a nice pranayama. So placing your hands on your belly, okay, I want you to start to bring the breath in through the nose and allow the belly to expand. So you're really taking that breath in, and the belly expands outward like a balloon, filling up that lower lung. And then with the exhalation, the belly begins to move back towards the back of the spine. And then as it does that, see if you can't bring the belly button in and up, okay? Just kind of a little bit of a tug, a little bit of the abdominal muscles, pulling in the belly with that exhalation. So again, inhale, belly comes out. Exhale, belly comes in and up. Good. And again, inhaling and exhaling. And again, inhaling and exhaling. So just allow yourself to not jump into, your tasks, your jobs, what you have to do, what's on the list of things to do, your honey-do list. Just put that all aside for now. Give yourself these next few moments, this half hour or so of being with your breath and tuning into your awareness of your own bodies, okay? So bring that now up to the mid side. So maybe take your hands, if you can, access your lower back with your hands, palms towards your back with your fingertips pointed down towards your buttock bones. Or if that doesn't work for you, just bring your hands to the side rib cage. Now this is a little bit more subtle to tap into. So we're tapping into the rib cage, if you will, the middle lung. So we take that inhale and the exhale. And the exhale can be either through the nose or through the mouth, whichever is more comfortable for you. And you can feel the rib cage actually expanding out, left and right. That's what we want. If you've got your hands behind here, you should feel it in your lower back a little bit. Very, very subtle movement, but that is the middle part of the lung, making that rib cage expand open, creating space in the body. That's our goal. Our goal is to create that space. Good. And just take a couple of more rounds here, feeling that body of yours expanding. Settling the mind down. Just noticing the temperature, the air temperature, the quality of the breath coming in, the quality of the breath going out. Good. And then shake that down. And finally, placing our hands on our chest. So this is kind of where most of us live throughout the day. We live in our upper lung, our upper chest. So here's where you may find that you're a little shortness of breath, or you're not taking a full breath in. So here what we want to do is really take that breath in, expand that chest, that collarbone, that clavicle. So take a nice deep inhale and exhale. Once again, notice the inhalation. Maybe the inhalation is a little bit shorter than the exhalation, or vice versa. Breath is warm and subtle, moist. Feel the skin on your body expanding with the breath. All these subtle movements with the breath, the subtleties of the body, are really things that we don't pay much attention to during our normal day, course of the day. And this is an opportunity for us to just notice, just be aware. Excellent. And then finally, letting those hands come down onto our laps, onto our knees. And here I want to do is just kind of maybe rub the kneecap a little bit one way and then maybe the other way. And then I'm going to take hold of the kneecap and start to draw the sits bones up and towards the tilting the pelvic bowl forward. We got a slight bend in our elbows as we start to broaden our chest, shooting those shoulder blades down towards our sits bones, really lifting up nice and tall here. And then we're going to start to tuck and roll and tuck the chin down towards the chest. The arms become straight. The gaze comes towards the floor. And then we're going to pull on those knees and pull that body back up. Okay, so these are going to be our cat and cows today. So lifting down, chin comes down, head comes down towards the floor a little bit, and then lifting back up, broadening. The gaze can come up now towards the ceiling, and then start to tuck and roll again. Nice and slow. Come on up. And come down. Good. Keep going. And you can take these fast or slow. It's all up to you, however you want to move, just as long as you keep moving that spine, making it nice and flexible. And finally coming up, nice. And then we'll just take a nice inhale up. Start to bring the breath in, exhale, hands come down. And then inhale up and exhale down, good. Now we're gonna leave our left hand out. We're gonna take our right hand back down onto our thigh. We're gonna sweep across to the right, and then we're gonna go up and down and around, and then make big movements here with that hand. Up and around, big, 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 big circles. And then try and get the waistline involved, get the hip involved. And we're just making great big circles with our hands. You can follow the gaze of the fingertips as you do this. Good. The next time we come, we'll sweep it across that side body again. And then you're just gonna open up and bring that hand back as far as it will go. And then swing it back open, kind of like a door, right? Swing that door, swing that gate open and bring it back. And then open and bring it back. And then sliding this hand down onto our thigh, we're gonna reach up into this beautiful angle pose, really reaching from the elbow, reaching from the armpit, keeping that left hip bone down on that chair as you reach over. Beautiful. And then coming back down and around. And just kind of shake it out a little bit. And we'll go to the other side. So we sweep that right arm over, right? Reaching over. And then we begin to take those big old circles up and around. Swinging it around, following the gaze of that hand. You might want to kind of widen your stance a little bit so you get your feet a little bit beyond the chair. Legs around, good. And then we're going to open up all the way, and then come back and then open up. Just try to keep the chest lifted and forward as you reach this arm way back and come back. And again, good. And then we're going to lean down into it, lift that hand up, and keep the chin up away from your chest. Don't crunch down. Try to lift up the body, reaching out for the stars. Kind of reach, reach, reach. Beautiful. And then coming down again. Shake that out, and then inhale, hands come up. We're going to clasp our hands. Bring your feet in towards one another. Keep them together. Press through the palms of the hands. Okay, wiggle around a little bit. Now we're just going to twist over to the left. Looking over to the left. Keep the chin up away from the chest. And breathe in and breathe out, right? And then exhale and then over to the other side. Again, keep those knees together if you can. Keep the elbows straight. And then back to center, and then exhale the hands down. And then inhale up again. Reclasp the hands, only go the opposite way. So it should feel a little funky, right? A little unusual, a little different. Try to draw those shoulders back and down. And once again, this time we'll twist to the right first. And then up and around and twisting to that other side, the left side. Good. And then coming back and then exhale. Beautiful. So continuing with the twist, what we're going to do now is just take an inhale up and then exhale. Right hand on the outer edge of that left knee. This hand can be on the chair itself. So on the chair pad itself, on the seat of the chair, however you want, and lifting up. Getting length in the side body. Good. And just notice the twist here, okay? And then coming back to center, we'll do that to the other side. So take a nice deep breath in. That's just to help us get length, that breath. And then over to the other side, this hand on the outer edge of the chair, and we're lifting up. So you can really push into that outer edge of that knee to help you get that length that you need. And notice your twist. Okay, great. So now what we're gonna do is take that a little deeper. So we're gonna turn our body right on over to the side, so we're looking right on out, right? And then we're gonna lift up nice and tall. We'll take our arms up, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna twist around to the back side. So let me turn my chair around so you can see what I'm doing. So I'll turn it around this way, and I'll sit like so. Okay, so now I've got my back of my chair here. So if I lift up, and then I come around, and I hold onto the chair, I'm lifting up, and I'm really using my hands to help guide the twist to get this really a lot deeper. This is great for your digestive system. This is tapping into those large and small intestines, into your organs, kind of wringing out from within, right? Good. And then of course we have to do the other side, so let me swing right around and I'll just come right here and do it this way. Glasses out of the way. So I want to lift up, take my arms up to get the length, and then I'm going to come down and I'm twisting right around. Now we want to watch our shoulders. They want to have a tendency to kind of move up towards the ear. So keep dropping them down, keep lifting up through the rib cage, lift up through the crown of the head, press those knees together, push the feet on the floor, into the floor, and lift and twist. And then you can maybe take your gaze right on over. Good, huh? And then unwind. And then we're gonna come up. We're gonna stand up. And then what we'll do here is I'm gonna turn my chair this way. Okay, good. Let's find my Tadasana, mountain pose. So here you have your chair. So if you ever need to hold on to your chair, it's right here. Now we're gonna take our block today and we're gonna put it on our chair pad, on the seat of the chair. And that's just to help build the chair up. Of course, you've got 3 different sizes that you can play with. So this would be what I call door number 1. This would be door number 2. And then this would be door number 3. And of course, sometimes you don't need the block at all. But today I'm going to use the block to help demonstrate, okay? So I'm going to put that right on the chair pad. And I'm going to find my mountain pose again. Lifting up through the kneecaps, finding myself feeling very grounded, very sturdy. Okay, I can hang on to the back of the chair if I need to. Just allowing the kneecaps to rise up a little bit. That'll engage the quadriceps right away. And then just tuck your tailbone a little bit. Bring your shoulders up and back and around and feel nice and regal, nice and tall. Good, right? And we're going to go into what's called triangle pose. So what I'm going to do now is take my outer leg and I'm going to step it out a good 3 feet or so, okay? And I'm going to take the leg that's closest to the chair and dial my foot inward so that the toes are pointing out towards the back side of the chair. Now I want to draw my hips forward here, okay? This posture is triangle pose or Trikonasana. And what it's really good for is all of the bones. It really kind of strengthens all of our leg muscles and our bones and our legs and helps with our alignment and helps with our balance. So here we take our hand down onto that block, onto the chair itself, okay? Now again, you don't want to collapse forward like so. You want to open up, okay, so that this shoulder is back towards the back of the wall. I've got my hand firmly planted, okay? And just notice that like a little teapot here. It's the hip. I'm hinging at the hip, bending at the hip, and then I'm raising that other arm up as high as it will go, okay? towards that thumb, that fingertip. Okay. Nice and tall here, reaching up. And this is with the block, and this would be without the block. Right? Feel good? And then we'll take this hand down. I'm going to dial this foot up and out, and then meet and greet my back foot. And I'm going to come right down into a down dog. Okay. And this feels really yummy. Woo. Nice for the shoulders. We lift the sits bones high to the sky as we drop the head down. And then I'm going to come up, and then I can actually go into an up dog. Now, you do what you can do. You do you, okay? I'm going to come right into an up dog, so I'm on the tippy toes. I'm lifting up, pressing into the palm, into the chair, okay? And then lifting back up, and I'll come walking towards the chair again, okay? All right, we'll swing this around, and we'll do it on this side. So that up dog is kind of intense. So don't, fret over it. You can just go into that down dog or practice the triangle, okay? So again, this foot goes in underneath the chair, okay? So it's pointing, the toes are pointing to the back of the chair. I'm gonna step out a good 2 to 3 feet, okay? That's important. And you wanna be able to roll on the outer edge of this back foot. Okay, that's what we call your anchor. Okay. And then we're gonna come into this posture again, squaring our hips forward. Okay, we wanna keep the hips forward. And then maybe lift up first, taking your hands at your rib cage. Just give yourself a little bit of a tug upward, and then take the shoulders back, drop those shoulder blades down, and then maybe reach the hand out like the foot. And then you can keep this hand on the hip for balance if you need it, and come back down onto that block, and then raise that arm up if you like, okay? And again, if we have it without the block, it would be this way, lifting up. And of course, again, you find where you're at. Maybe it's up this way. Maybe you can just hold on to the back side of the chair, okay? Beautiful. And then coming back up, we'll swing this hand around. We're gonna step now, rotate that foot down, step the other front foot back to meet and greet the back foot, and then we'll just dip our hips, our chest down and our hips up. Take a couple of breaths here. If for some reason you have sciatica or lower back problems, you might want to try this with your feet a little wider and then bring it down. It should help with the lower back, and it should help with your sciatica. And then coming back up, I'm going to bring my feet back together again for that up dog, dropping my hips forward towards the chair. This is why you need your chair on a very firm, solid base. You don't want the chair slipping. And then coming back up and down. Good. Couple more I'd like to do standing to show you how we can intensify all of this and open up our hips. Now this is going to be pigeon pose eventually. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my foot and bring it up onto the chair itself. Now, if for some reason that's not doable for you today, just bring the block down and put your foot on the block, okay? We're going to take that foot up here and just kind of lunge into it. All right, this is going to be good for the hamstrings, it's good for the buttock, it's good for the hip. And then coming back and doing a little bit of a runner's lunge, holding onto that chair. Okay, and of course, if you've only got the block, you can still do this, leaning in, using the chair for balance. Okay? I'm going to take it to the other side. Foot comes on. I'm going to take this and deepen that stretch. Come back into that runner's lunge. Okay. And again, on the block, it would look something like this. Okay. All right, so pigeon pose now would be to take this foot up, and we're just gonna bring it down onto the chair itself. Now this is kind of advanced, but it feels good. We do pigeon pose seated. If you want to bow out of this, we'll do pigeon pose maybe seated, so you still get that benefit of opening up the hip. The other thing you can do is just practice those lunges, the lunge forward and the lunge back, the runner's lunge. And just allow the body to open up here, okay? So, and then coming out, you just lift up, maybe take that down dog, and then taking it to the other side. So I bring my foot up first, and then slide the knee down onto the chair back, and then slide this leg out for my pigeon pose. I really like this because it allows me to push my hands into the back of the chair to really get a nice little bit of a back bend, lifting up through the heart, opening up through the hamstring. I've got the hip being open, I'm working the inner groin, and I'm breathing, right? Alrighty, so now getting out of this posture, we're just going to take it back down and dip it for that down dog one last time. Good. And then we will turn our chair back down into center and come back. Good job. Alright, so let's just kind of move the body back and forth, kind of loosen up from all of that craziness that we just did, right? Just keep that body moving, right? Back and forth. And hamstring. So let's take this belt. Okay, ooh, extra long belt here. And we're going to take it around our left foot. Okay? And if you don't have a belt, you can just use clasp your hands behind your thigh. We're gonna lift the leg up. Now we're working on the hamstring here. So we're lifting up, lift up, elbows come in like the reins of a horse. You're holding on, tuck the elbows in by the rib cage, lift up, chins away from the chest, try to get as much length and strength as you can, holding that leg up. Now place the straps, the belt, whatever you have, piece of rope, and then start to open that leg up for the inner seam. Keeping the knee and the foot on the opposite side, on that right side, firmly into the floor. We're really lifting up here. Okay, work that inner seam. This is called Padangusthasana. Good. And then taking and swinging that leg around, let's take that seated pigeon. So we bend that knee over the leg. And of course, if this is not doable for you, you can certainly just cross at the ankles, okay? So come right on up, lifting up, and then we're just gonna lean into it. And you should feel it on that outer edge. So we really have our leg in the same position that we had it when we were on the chair. Leaning into it, yeah, like making a 4, I guess, with the leg. Good. And then coming up nice and slow and gentle. Maybe cross that over and we'll take another little twist. Like I said, the twists are so good, they kind of wring it all out for us. Work the digestion and get things moving. And we'll take that to the other side. So first, wrap the strap around that foot, lift up, Now try not to sink back. We have a tendency to do that. We want to have a tendency to lean back. We don't want to do that in here. We want to lift right on up, soften our shoulders, keep our elbows in towards our rib cage as best we can, pulling on that belt, pulling on that strap, pushing down on that left foot, really planting that left foot in to help you get the height, to get the length. Keeping that leg engaged. And then open it up. And breathe. Inhaling and exhaling. Feel it in the inner groin. And then swing that leg all the way around. Oh, we've got to take that pigeon pose, right? Almost gotcha. Lift up and then lean forward. Breathing in and breathing out. You can intensify this by pressing that kneecap down towards the floor a little bit. And of course, you can ease it up a little bit by just crossing at the ankles and leaning forward, okay? Leaning into it. Good. And then we're gonna cross that all the way around, lifting up, turning our head over, looking out, breathing here. And then coming back to center, unwinding and tapping it out a little bit. Good. And then we'll take those rotating circles again. And then around the other way. Good. And then I'm going to take my hands, I'm going to reach them up, and I'm going to flip the palms down, really reaching away from the body. I'm going to take these into goalpost arms, okay? I'm going to lift back, taking a little bit of a back with an inhale. Exhale, we're going to come all the way down. And then take a half lift, forward fold, and then coming all the way up with those cactus arms again. Bring the arms together and open up. A little bit of a back bend. All the way down. Half lift. Forward fold. And coming all the way up. Let the belly button bring you up. Bring the arms together. And open up. We'll do one more. Lifting up, nice back bend. Press the feet into the floor. Forward fold. Half lift. Forward fold. Coming all the way up. And then press those hands together. Now keep the hands together. And just kind of press the elbows towards one another as best you can. Lift the elbows up and down. Up and down. Actually, let's open the arms up. Cross the left arm over the right. Give yourself a little bit of a hug. Okay. Now, draw the hands together into eagle arms. A little bit more intense. Now, if you can't quite do this, just go back to the forearms being together. Lifting up and coming down. Bring the breath into that back body. Good. Unwind here. Take it out. Flip the hands and flip down and flip around. Good. Now take the right hand over, clasp, give yourself a hug, then maybe bring the hands together, lift up. But this time we're going to lift down. Tuck it all the way down. Feel it in your belly. Soften the belly. Breathe into the back. And then coming on up, unwind, and then we'll flip. We can alternate this flip too. Back and forth. Rotating that shoulder and the wrist. Maybe start to roll the wrists around a little bit. One way and then the other. Clasp your hands and maybe make figure eights with those wrists. And then maybe go back around the other way. Drop your hands. And then finding our way into a relaxed position, I'm going to take our blanket today. And I'm going to roll it on up. Put it right on my belly. And just straddle my legs a little bit, maybe as wide as the chair itself. I'm going to lift up and I'm going to roll over this blanket and then just drop my head down and just hang out here for a few rounds of breath. Just allow the whole back side of the body to melt over the thigh, really relaxing. Relax the tongue muscle, relax the eye, relax the nose and the cheek and the face, the shoulders especially. The shoulders always want to play, right? They always want to get in the action. So just allow them to soften. And really begin to feel yourself melting, like melting right into that blanket, right? Just enjoy that for a moment. Let it all hang out. Even just stick your tongue out and wiggle the tongue around. Just get it nice and loose, right? Good. Right, and then when you're ready, just come to a seated position. You can stay there if you'd like. And just start to feel how the body feels from the time that you started till now. That little bit of movement that we did, a little intense, a little soft, a little high, a little low. You know, just try to start to notice, just having an awareness of your own body, an awareness of what works and what doesn't, and having no judgment, you know, no judgment involved whatsoever. And just let yourself and enjoy your breath. So take this moment, this opportunity to find the balance, find the grace within, and we'll raise our arms up over our head, drawing our hands down through our heart center, bowing in gratitude for showing up today, for doing a little bit of yoga for yourself, a little bit of chair practice for yourself. And as always, with gratitude, I remind you that the love and the light that you shine upon me is the same love and light that I shine upon you. So we raise those thumbs to that third eye, that intuition, and we bow to one another in gratitude and say Namaste. Thank you, and I do hope to see you again. And until then, have a beautiful, wonder-filled day. Thank you.